The COVID 19 pandemic is reshaping the world. Social distancing is uprooting the established societal and economic norms. Without a doubt, these are the difficult times. No matter how challenging the time may be, there's always opportunity present in disguise. And our next session explores the very same topic, iterated beautifully in the words of Albert Einstein. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Presented by the Coimbatore chapter, we have the panel. On the panel, we have Dr. A. Muruganathan, Arjun Prakash, Dr. S. Sabapathy, Dr. A. Salva Kumar, who is going to be moderating the session, and joining him will be Dr. Mohana Sundari J. But before we welcome the panel, I would like to invite the president of TAI Coimbatore, Miss Ranjana Singhal. She is a very well known entrepreneur in Coimbatore, and she is the driving force behind three brands of restaurants. The Terra Co., a fine dining and casual dining restaurant. That's Why Food and On the Go, and the managing director at Cafe Totaram Private Limited. Please put your hands together digitally for the fabulous panel and Miss Ranjana. Over to you.
Thank you, Akriti. Vanakkam. Greetings from the city of enterprise, Coimbatore. It is truly an honor for me to welcome you to this special session of the TAI Global Summit on behalf of the city of Coimbatore in general and all members of TAI Coimbatore in particular. This session is titled Coimbatore Tenacity and will reflect upon why this city has resilience as its middle name. As a non-native, I made this city my home 2 decades ago, and I must acknowledge from my personal experience that I have felt at home always. TAI Coimbatore chapter is 10 years old and has wide cross-section of the city entrepreneurs as its members. It has been a very active chapter in leading the vision of fostering entrepreneurship. A city with a history of over 2,500 years, Coimbatore is a mecca of engineering, education, healthcare, and enterprise. Home to over 2.5 million people speaking over 14 languages, it is truly a cosmopolis. This is a city not born from mere glory of its past, rather it's one carved from its eagerness to travel into the future. One that has risen and existed purely due to the enterprise and resilience of this people. This is a city that eats, sleeps, breathes entrepreneurship. An informal survey has indicated that close to 40% of the population is involved in an enterprise of their own. This spirit has also given the city its resilience, the ability to keep growing and surviving in spite of multifarious challenges, man-made and otherwise. I welcome you to listen and be inspired by 5 of my homegrown entrepreneurs colleagues from TAI Coimbatore, who will share with you their thoughts and ideas on what makes Coimbatore resilient. I welcome you and your family to visit our city, explore opportunity to set up or expand your businesses. TAI Coimbatore will assist you every step of the way. Welcome to Coimbatore. Before we begin the panel discussion, I hand it over. Before we start the panel discussion, moderator for the evening is of morning is Dr. Selva Kumar. He's a past president TAI Coimbatore. Before we move on to the session, I request tech team to play the video, please, which we have made on our city. Thank you.
When imported pumps were in shortage, we built our own pumps. When electricity was denied by the British, we created our own power. Our sweat and blood transformed unyielding soil into the bedrock of a thriving cotton industry. When we stared at a severe drought, we came together, cleaned our lakes and ponds to save every drop of water. We are a city that cannot be subdued, that cannot be stopped, that rises tall and strong through every single adversity. We are tenacity. We are Coimbatore. With the Blue Mountains as a backdrop, it is a cosmopolis in every sense. A city that has been at the forefront of engineering entrepreneurship in India, where anything can be manufactured, from micro precision parts used in rockets to 10-ton machines used in mines. Almost every kind of engineering activity happens in this city of diverse culture and ethnicity. With over 300 colleges across disciplines, it is a center of education in every sense. World-renowned doctors and hospitals make it a pioneer in healthcare across domains. A city that is safe for you and yours, for me and my family. A city where 1 in 4 people is an entrepreneur. Coimbatore is a hotbed of innovation and enterprise, buzzing with activity from thousands of one-man companies to multi-crore behemoths. The city is truly a home to entrepreneurship, a community that's tolerant and ever welcoming. A city which can make anything, but most importantly, a city that can make every dream come true. It is this land that welcomes you. Entrepreneur, strategist, tourist, student, professional, retiree, come, make it your home. TiE Coimbatore is here to walk with you every step of the way. Welcome to our city.
Good day and vanakkam to everyone who's attending, all the delegates attending this session from all over. Welcome to the TiE Coimbatore session at TGS 2020. I'm Dr. Selva Kumar, moderator for this session titled Coimbatore Tenacity. We're talking about the never say die attitude of the Coimbatore entrepreneurs. Our main objective is to highlight how successful early entrepreneurs established a culture of nurturing entrepreneurship all around us, which continues to evolve till today. This strong culture has been time-tested and had always enabled Coimbatore to bounce back to greater success post any setback. The health and livelihood crisis brought by the COVID-19 makes Coimbatore's story even more relevant to learn from. With this context setting, let me introduce our distinguished panelists. I'm starting with Dr. Arunachalam Muruganathan. Welcome, sir. Distinguished charter member of TiE Coimbatore, Padma Shri awardee, recognized and celebrated as Time's 100 most influential people in 2014, a rare honor. The global icon, sought-out speaker, influencer, more importantly, an inspiring first-generation social entrepreneur. He has brought a revolutionary change to the mental health of rural women in India and many developing countries by inventing an easy-to-use, economical, eco-friendly machine they can use to manufacture low-cost sanitary pads at the village level. His company, Jayashree Industries machines, now run over 500 points in India and other 30 other countries. And his model of social entrepreneurship is steady, rolled over by universities and corporates. And his cause and story was made into a feature film, Padman, in 2018, starring Akshay Kumar. We would be talking to him and seeking his thoughts on the current and evolving Coimbatore ecosystem in the context of social entrepreneurship. Welcome, Dr. Muruganathan. Next, I'm going to introduce our other panelists, Dr. Mohanasundari Jagannathan, a senior charter member and founding member of TiE Coimbatore, chairperson and managing director of Shop Foundry India Limited and Shop Electrodes Private Limited, Coimbatore, who are a leading manufacturer and exporter of mini mono block pumps and the welding electrodes world over. She won the prestigious International Women Entrepreneurs Challenge Award, which was sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce, Barcelona, New York, and the FICCI, and also the US Department of State. Her husband, Mr. Jagannathan, is the inventor of the aluminum cast monoblock pumps for domestic use, as well as the indigenous production of the welding electrodes. True to the legacy left by her late husband, she continues to innovate in business, worker welfare, and societal initiatives. We will be talking to her about her thoughts on the current and evolving Coimbatore ecosystem in the context of successful woman entrepreneur and influencer. Welcome, Dr. Mohanasundari. The next in our panel is Dr. S. Raj Savapathy, a senior charter member of TiE Coimbatore, Chairman of Department of Plastic Surgery and co-promoter of the Ganga Hospital at Coimbatore. Him and his team at Ganga Hospital are well known globally in the field of reconstructive surgery and orthopedics. He's also honorary consultant and advisor to Armed Force Medical Services, a member of editorial board of leading international medical journals, and a sought-after mentor and teacher to hundreds of trainees and professionals from over 60 countries. So she also pioneered the social reach initiatives such as the first ever ambulance, air ambulance unit, as well as the accident prevention awareness campaign initiative called WEIR. We'll be seeking his thoughts in the context of specific healthcare initiatives and priorities in post-COVID era. Welcome, Dr. Sabamati. And finally, I have Mr. Arjun Prakash, charter member of TiE Coimbatore, founder director of Effica Automation, which specializes in automation and robotics. From an illustrious industrial family, grandson of Dr. G.T. Damodaran, founder of PhD Tech. Yet we celebrate him as a first generation entrepreneur since he chose to pursue and succeed in an independent path in business. We will be talking to him about his thoughts on from the perspective of a next generation tech entrepreneur. Welcome, Arjun. With this, I'll invite the panelists one by one to give an opening statement, starting with Dr. Muruganathan.
So good morning and vanakkam for everyone. So Selva sir already introduced me. So I call as Arunachalam Muruganathan and known as Padman across India. So what I want to say today in front of the elite audience from TiE. So many times once you succeed, so 99% or majority of the people, they claim the success because of their knowledge or the skills, something. But in my case, I would say, so it is not only by my skills, it is by support of my family and mainly the city where we belong. So that will play the important key role that many they never give credit. Today, I'm very happy to give thanks to my own city. I'm really proud to be a Coimbatore, to born and brought up in Coimbatore. So everyone know I started from my wife to make this affordable sanitary pad. Now it has gone global. So not only because of the hard work, you know, something you are doing a hard work in the deep of the well or in the deep of the ocean, who will know? So because the city like Coimbatore, if you do a small thing, even a small success or small, you know, invention, so it become a beacon, a light on the hill like that. And very importantly, being a first generation entrepreneur. So you are the first man in your family, you are trying to do something on your own. It is not like self-employed. There is a vast difference between self-employed and doing an entrepreneurship, no matter you are doing a cutthroat entrepreneurship or a social entrepreneurship. So where you need some academic background or something they will call a MBA from IIM, ABCD, FGD. So, but in my experience, saw so many or under thousands of entrepreneurs in Coimbatore, they don't have that MBA. Then why they succeeded, how they succeeded, you know, the magic is, in our city, even the city has the MBA, Coimbatore. It is a co-created MBA. It is giving to each and every entrepreneur. See, to see co-MBA. So you people study MBA is a mass production hatched through Harvard and Oxford and IIMs. But here the co-MBA, the city will create MBA, a co-creation basis. See, I co-created by my city as a social entrepreneur. So like that, everybody coming to do some entrepreneurs in my city, it will give an insight. So that's why I'm calling us a master of business administration something. But here, suddenly the, you know, something, a new person is entering into a entrepreneurship, trying to do. The world is giving a different name, now startup. But the same old wine in a new bottle, that's all. Earlier we called as attempted to do entrepreneurship, now become a startup with other people money. But we never use other people money, we do it on our own. But very importantly, you know, the success ratio in Coimbatore is almost more than any other city in the world. If you have any doubt, please check. Because any entrepreneurship, if you come and start in Coimbatore, the sustainability will be very high. Why? Because the mentor and mentor, something in startup in the world they are talking. It is happening in my city in every street corner. You can find the mentor in every street of Coimbatore, every village, every small cities in my district, where the person who already entered in the entrepreneurship for 2 decades, 3 decades, they give free the mentoring to the mentee or the new entrepreneur, free of cost. Only need you become an internship. So it's not like internship you have to come out from university doing it. Side by side while you are doing entrepreneurship in my city, you can do the mentoring, mentee, anything. So by the way, you can accumulate more and more knowledge. So then automatically your mind shift. So being or becoming a unicorn or a multi-con, becoming a first $1 billion company, these are all in Coimbatore, nobody ever attempt. We don't bother about being a unicorn or a multi-con or a first $1 billion company, we never bother. We here bother only about innovation and sustainability, creating a real profitable company. If you check the balance sheet, it is a real profitable company. So many companies, they change over for second generation, third generation, even fourth generation business, they are surviving. And very importantly, my city is not Detroit, only focusing on automobile. Suddenly the automobile is going down, that city become ghost city, not like that. It is a multi-focus city. If you want engineering, you can do it. If you want to do textiles, chemical, even in hospitality or hospital, it is a multivariate task it is happening. That's what it will flourish like anything. So that's what I am really I'm encouraging, especially the younger generation. No matter where you are belong from the world or in India, please come down to Coimbatore like a spiritual visit or entrepreneurship spiritual visit and stay here for at least 6 months, learn entrepreneurship, then go back to your city and do it. Or if you are interested, you can do it from my city. Your success will be guaranteed and your sustainability will be guaranteed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Muruganathan. Now I invite Dr. Bhuvanasundari to go ahead.
Good morning, one and all. Vanakkam. I am from Kalapatti village, and Coimbatore is resilience. Mental health contributes to resilience, and spirituality contributes to mental health. So this is what I am here today. Difficulties do come in life, but it is the strength within which makes you to come out of it, making the challenges into opportunities. That is what I did in my life. Because like within the strength, I made it to use and to come out successfully. Like spider makes a huge web from within. So same way, within the strength, that is self-confidence, what makes me to become an entrepreneur. My husband, Mr. K. Jagannathan, is the person who is supplied Rohini rocket bodies and walls to ISRO when Dr. Abdul Kalam was the project manager in 1980s. He involved only the tribal girls and the girls who are all working in the farm and also the persons who are working in the field. So with that, with them, he was able to supply Rohini rocket bodies, and which attracted the eyes of the Sanar people, called us to study the electrode making plant. And in those days, 30 years back, they took the drawings, and when they went around, they saw the pump. They brought both to the Kalapatti village, and in that foundry, it is called workshop those days, they designed, and it is indigenized the electrode making plant, and in the same way, mini monoblock shark pump. We are the pioneer in introducing the shark pump in India as well as global level, which attracts the whole world, and the same aluminum body is utilized for the whole world globally, becomes the product for the aluminum manufacturers. And we employed all the girls who are not educated and school dropouts. We gave them skill development and empowered them to work in the automatic coil winding and also these welding electrode manufacturing machines. which helped to get in international level and takes market share. And we start with the prayer in the morning and also doing some exercises, meditation, which gives the strength. As all of a sudden I lost my husband, which is a very big blow in my life, and with my inner strength and also following my Guruji Art of Living Sri Sri Ravi Shankar and following the 5 sutras which help me to overcome any problem at any point. The same thing I carried to all our employees. We are all doing prayer in the morning together, and that spiritual strength which makes our people to be very strong internally. And in same way, many employees, they turned out to be an entrepreneur and giving more job to other people. This is the thing which makes unique in Coimbatore, especially in Kalapatti, which is a very, very hub of the internationally attracted place where all the industries are coming. So same way, industry institute coordination is possible because I had the opportunity. I was working in the college, which helped me to interact with the college and also the industries, so that thereby we are able to produce many more entrepreneurs. What success I'm having is because of my husband. All the success behind my the entrepreneurial journey, credit goes to my husband. And I welcome all the women to come and start the industry in Coimbatore, which in turn you become an entrepreneur. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mogana. Now I invite Dr. Raj Sarvapati to give his opening comments.
So thank you.
Unmute.
Thank you so much, Selva, for this opportunity. Nothing is easy for me to take off from what my two moderate speakers spoke, from Muruganandam and Mona Sundari. The one thing that you will find in their talks is that they are all inherently proud of the place. I think that's the one. I think we need to have a pride to be in a place. I think probably, as Madam told, this all fed to us from the very beginning. I was a student of Kikani High School here. I was the school people leader. At that time, every Friday, I have to recite 3 lines and the whole school will follow it. The first line is Kikani is my school. And then second line is make me proud of it. Third line is make it proud of me. I think that's a fantastic statement that is inherently started when you are in school. So that now when I now go at our hospital, Ganga Hospital, I tell everybody, see, all of us have to feel this Coimbatore our city. Ganga Hospital is our hospital. Make me proud of it and make it proud of me. So I think what happens is everyone in Coimbatore, and whatever they do, they are trying to make the Coimbatore city proud. I think that's it. In the process, they also grow. I think that's it. So when we came back, my brother and myself came back about 30 years ago in 91. And that time we were bringing in certain new things like regenerative microsurgery is not here. And quite a few people told that you might be able to have better pastures if you go to a metropolitan city, there you start off. But then now looking back, when somebody asks us what's the reason for your success, I tell them we succeeded because we started in Coimbatore, our city. I think that there is no other way. I think we are absolutely very certain because this is a city which respects quality. I think that's important. This is a city which respects quality. And this is a city which values hard work. Sometime back, I remember reading in a news magazine, Frontline, about Coimbatore. They said, you don't really have to go back to somewhere to find some inspiration. It's already in your backyard. And they have found that people working in Coimbatore, in textile mills, they got a productivity of a worker is 10% more than the national average. So working hard is just a second nature for everybody in Coimbatore. Next thing is now this talk is about resilience, how we spring back after a major problem. So it has been told that we are need a lot of burns we deal, and then one of the first things that is told is, if you have to come out of a problem very successfully, you have to be prepared before. So healthcare, I think Coimbatore really did well because not that we scrambled to do things after the problem struck, because we had inherently we had a good infrastructure. I think that's very important. And if I would say, I think three things really stand out. One is that we had really quality setups that are available already. That's one. And second, what the hospitals in Coimbatore made was, we understood that it's not just enough to have quality, but then it has to be accessible. I think if you have healthcare which is not accessible to the people who need it, that means the total waste. So it was accessible second, that's the second point. The third point was in affordability. So you need to have accessible, affordable, quality healthcare, because in healthcare, if you have poor quality, it's not worth getting at any cost. I think that we all of us understood. And we are proud to say that in Coimbatore, in any field you take, where you take plastic surgery, orthopedics, laparoscopy, cardiology, any field you take, you can at least count of a handful of people who could be compared with the best in the whole country. I think we are very proud about it. And then they all not toy, they all work very, very hard. So is there anything which separates Coimbatore from the rest of the people's healthcare? Is that one is that of specialty hospitals. I think what we did was you will have now standalone hospitals which have not been found other places. By staying lean, what happened was they were able to focus all their resources and energy into particular fields and really take it to the very high. And the last point that I will say that we didn't stop with treating people and growing ourselves. What we did was we taught the world. And you will find that in addition to that, Coimbatore doctors made Coimbatore the destination for teaching and training. For example, in our unit, we had more than 2,000 surgeons come from 69 countries. We found that it's just not enough to have scale, because in countries like China and India, you will have a lot of health problems, I think, just because of population. But then having a number doesn't really matter anything, because you need to scale with quality. So once you scale with quality, then we found that we could be the nation, we could be the city which could teach the world. Because the problems that we find are just the same, and we feel that in a few minutes, in a few decades, I think we could lead more than 2/3 of the nation. So thank you so much, and we are inherently proud as to what we are doing.
Thank you, Doctor. Now I invite Mr. Arjun Prakash to offer his opening comments.
Thank you, Dr. Selva. Good morning to everyone. Coimbatore is a city with enormous entrepreneurial and philanthropical spirit. The entrepreneurship started with the textile industry, where the textile industry had a lot of large machinery, and to maintain these machineries, they went on to build the ancillary industries, and then further from the ancillary industries, we continued to go on to the other engineering fields and diversified laterally. Today, from the success that we have derived from these industries, we've also done a lot of philanthropy, and a lot of that has mainly been focused on the education side. And with this, we have a lot of high quality people, a high quality workforce, and also a lot of entrepreneurship that has been spurred out further from this education. The city has the growth of the city has in the meantime not gone further from this, because we have seen a lot of success, but from the success we have not stepped forward. One of the main reasons is the change we see from basically the change we see from the strengths that the city has been having in the past, that is the low cost of labor, the low cost of power, the easy availability of raw material, all of which was what put textiles up on the map in our city. It's no longer the reality. We've been all these strengths are vaporizing, and we find that there are new strengths in the city, and we have to adapt to these strengths. So from here, how do we go about all these education institutes and the industries that have been set up here? It has been new facilities and new systems are setting up. We have two major things that are coming up out of this. One of it is the entrepreneurial ecosystem, which is basically all the education institutes are setting up incubators. There are also independent incubators that are coming out of these solutions, and also the collaboration that the education institutes and the industries are coming up together. That is basically the work that they do together is spurring out a lot of research activities. There's a lot of new products that are developed, and there are also a lot of new types of businesses that are being introduced out of this. The other thing is also we need a lot of, we don't have clustering in Coimbatore. The effect of clusters has a lot of potential to send our industries forward. We need to take up the clustering activities as a major initiative and take this up with the government as well as with private sector. And one of the things that Coimbatore has a big plus point is it works very well as a greater region. The surrounding cities, towns, and villages are also very prosperous with the long history of education in our city. We've been developing a lot of skilled manforce also in these surrounding towns, which are about 40 to 60 kilometers from our city. So we have to develop our city as a greater region. And so I think going forward, we'll have to look into a lot of infrastructure for our city that connects us not only inside the city, but also connects us to our region and makes our region as a whole a big location to invest in. So I think we have good potential from here. It is something that we have to build up and take on. Thank you.
Thank you, Arjun. As you can see, our distinguished panelists are made up of, each of them come from, all of them are successful entrepreneurs from Coimbatore, but each comes from a different field. Dr. Muruganathan from social entrepreneurship, Dr. Mohana Sundari from the women entrepreneurship, and Dr. Raj Sabhabadi from the world-class healthcare services being offered in Coimbatore. And Mr. Arjun Prakash brings the new technology entrepreneurship spirit to the Coimbatore. I'm going to go around with a panel with a couple of rounds of questions, and then followed by taking some questions from the audience too. To start with, let me start with Dr. Muruganathan. Essentially, basically, yours being a social entrepreneur, and you're working with the very different workplaces across the thing. In the post-COVID, I mean, during the COVID thing, what are the challenges you face, and how do you planning to address to reach those remote areas at this point in time?
So in general, if I answer this, the post-COVID, pre-COVID. So if you go for a general entrepreneur, they never thought of this situation going to happen. So everybody, while even we are considering our home now, we are digging and doing foundation, but nobody ever bothered about the earthquake. But they say, no, in Coimbatore, nothing will happen. So who will give the guarantee something will not happen in Coimbatore? So, but even we are building skyscrapers, they're building everything. It is a foolishness happening in the human, because we take it granted it will not happen in Coimbatore. Like that, everybody, the entrepreneurs will thought, they never thought of locking down the country which has 140 billion people. But it really helps for entrepreneurs to rethink their strategy, to redesign their business model, everything. But there are a lot of challenges, especially, the person actually start the business or entrepreneurship only looking for profit or monetary. They are facing a lot of problems because they look for only opportunities. Because you ask the question, the post-COVID challenges and opportunities. But what is our philosophy is we never look opportunity at any time. Instead of that, we look for a problem. So as I said, I saw my wife using a rag cloth, not using a sanitary pad. Then I realized in my city, in my country, 90% of women are not using sanitary pad. It's an untold pandemic. So the moment it's become a public debate only, it is a pandemic has happened. But there are hundreds of untold pandemics are there in country, in the world. So that's why what I'm saying, from the day one, we never look for opportunity, we look for a problem. We look that COVID as a added problem, that's it. But it make a huge jerk because we need to go physically to the remote pocket of the village and we have to train the women, the logistic, so everything become trouble. But we are now redesigning from the day one, we decentralized the manufacturing, but everything we know. So I already told in my first round of talk. So we think unique. So that makes, the co-creation of MBA. Like that, while I invent the machine, I don't have any factory or nothing, but there are machine tools owned by other people. That's why I created a virtual factory. So the question I'm relevantly answering, what is the challenges and opportunities? But I'm answering, we created from the day one a virtual factory. So even the pandemic is happened today in India, or Coimbatore suffering very more, then I can shift manufacturing to any part of the country or any part of the world. But even the whole world is jerking. But we never bothered or were never disturbed in manufacturing, only on the logistic part. And especially I wrote a open letter on me. So it is appear in all newspaper. Even the Kamala Hassan open letter never had such a thing. But whole media given support because what I told, they locked the country from March. Then weeks gone, months gone, nothing is happening. Going on, they're extending. So what we are working ourselves for decades, and with the help of both state and central government, we spent billions to take out the rural women from unhygiene method of menstrual management to hygiene menstrual management. Suddenly, because of lockdown, the scarcity of the particular product, the women trying to get the sanitary pads, the moment they are not getting, the men already there in the home for months. The women never talked about unavailability or not accessible to the pad. She is simply converting into the unhygiene method. So what we tried with the help of both federal and state government, it silently is killing. That's what I wrote, make this commodity as an essential commodity. The moment they call all the joint secretaries become a news, then I told make this transportation everything, so the government does. So already government taking out a GST tax for a commodity in a country having a 29 state and 7 union territories. It is not a joke. We are the front runners. So they removed the GST tax. That's why also we worked a lot to make our country women into healthy. So the very main aim of the lockdown is keeping citizens into healthy, but it's working reverse, I told. So this way, now the whole state, because of pandemic, many states, they made this a commercial, essential commodity and the movement, everything. So there are a lot of changes happening in our strategies like that. That's why we took this challenge, as an opportunity to address the problem into very well. So like that, every business house use this pandemic as an opportunity to restructure your business, no matter which domain you are working. That's the use.
Thank you, Dr. Mohan. I mean, it is true that still you highlighted with an open letter, that aspect of this thing was completely ignored, and then when the bureaucracy took action only after that fact that which is an essential commodity. My next question is to Dr. Mohan Sundari. Essentially, as a woman entrepreneur, you have started your journey. You are never from your educational career, you moved into your woman entrepreneurial journey. What is the ecosystem support which you received in the Coimbatore, and as well as what are your advice to the upcoming? There will be a lot of during the COVID break, a lot of women entrepreneurs are coming interested in starting something of their own. I want to also to share your thoughts on that. What is the support they can expect from them?
See, now for women entrepreneurs, lot of opportunities are there. Unlike in those days, I may be the first woman entrepreneur from our village. And from the village we came, since I know the value of the independence or the women entrepreneur, if we teach skill development to even that no need to education, even school dropout girls I've taken and I motivated them and I made them empowered so that they can operate even automated coil winding machine, and they can even manufacture pumps. I made 100% women unit, sharp trendies. It is all because of my husband's motivation. He taught everything. So the pump manufacturing unit initially, trendies was formed with 100% women unit. that is very, very successful, and a lot of opportunities are there for the women to exceed. If one girl or becomes independent, and so the whole family gets upgraded. So I take all the girls from tribals and give them skill development, and my focus is only on quality. Since quality is the backbone, and no way, nothing compromises, no way I deviate from quality, which takes our product to the international, including Japan. Most of the countries, they have accepted our product. And in turn, we started Quality Circle Forum of India 4 years back in Coimbatore, and which I am the charter chairperson. Apart from that, FICCI, Flow, and Codicia, SEMA, and all the banks are helping to help the women entrepreneur. If they have got an idea, of course, in the pandemic, they have got many ideas. Many entrepreneurs are coming because so many problems, like any problem is there, that to sort out, they have to start a product or a service, and by which they have become an independent, and so they support the whole family. And all the banks are having so many amount to give as a loan, all are waiting. Only thing, if the ladies have to have the confident, the self-confident, only thing they don't know is they are not believing they're confident. So they have to break through the boundaries and come out to learn and earn, which makes them country self-stand. Coimbatore becomes a big entrepreneur hub, especially women.
Thanks, Mona. In fact, I just want to highlight at this point is that Thai Coimbatore chapter took the initiative to set up the Thai Women Global Movement. Now it has become a Thai Global Initiative, and there is across all chapters, Thai Women chapter is coming along, and there's also we are coming up with some very specific programs to help women entrepreneurs in this different areas of the country and the world. My next question is to Dr. Raj Sabhabadi. Dr. Tug, borrow the phrase, the well-known phrase from the US context is the healthcare professionals are the frontline warriors. That being the case in the scenario, how did you keep the positivity in the mind of caregivers during this period, where you have to deal with not only the patients coming in and also take care of your own mental health and physical health?
So I think whenever you have a major problem, so you need to lead from the front. You will find in most of the institutions of Coimbatore, and you could divide those hospitals into two. Some of them were COVID hospitals. I think they took care of COVID patients, that's one. There are also other hospitals like us where we deal a lot of trauma. And we are not a COVID hospital, but then you never know whether this patient who has got a trauma has got a COVID positive or not. So if you have to deal with these sort of difficult problems, that means you need to lead from the front. And I found in Coimbatore, almost all the heads of institutions were in their seats. I think most of them, they are all working as much as before. And that was the first thing that has been done. And second, you need to provide confidence that you're doing the right thing. I think that's very important. So you can't simply say that, you can't really simply say it's fine, it's nothing going to happen. Not only you have to do the right thing, every worker in your hospital has to feel that you are doing the right thing. So that means a lot of transparency also to come. And what is good for them is good for you. I think you can't be taking any extra special precaution. I think that is very important. The same amount of precautions that the head of the hospital or the doctors take, that must be the same level of precautions that you must provide on to the worker on the house cleaning staff. So we provided that. I think once we do that and explain to them why we do what we do, I think that's very important. The second thing is, because of the so much of fear which has been created by the WhatsApp and the social media, you need to really educate people how exactly COVID spreads. So it's just not the way you usually get it. So once they understand why they get it, then if you take the proper precautions, we didn't really find it any problem. throughout this period, not a single patient of where a trauma was neglected. So I think that would be the highlight of Coimbatore. I think I'm really proud about it. In short, we have to say, Dr. Selva, all the doctors, the team, they led from the front. It was through education, it was through transparency, and it was through the ubiquitous, it was the same amount of care what the top man has. I think the lowest level of worker also had. I think in that way, he really won the game.
That is a universal fact that all the hospitals took a very proactive role and then kept things under control and gave the confidence to the public in this present scenario in Coimbatore. Thank you very much. Let me move on to Mr. Arjun Prakash. Arjun, I want you to talk about some of the new initiatives coming to the Coimbatore industrial ecosystems, like the Defense Corridor Initiative. Can you please elaborate on that?
Thank you, Dr. Selva. Yes, we have a new investment in Coimbatore in the form of a defense corridor. This is basically an initiative of CODISIA and the Defense Ministry with the ambition to create 50 entrepreneurs and 50 with 50. Sorry, I think the mic was on mute. We have a new initiative in Coimbatore called the CDIIC, that is a CODISIA Defense Innovation and Incubator Center. This is basically a collaboration between CODISIA and the Ministry of Defense. It is done with the aim of creating 50 businesses with 50 entrepreneurs and 50 different products. And the ambition is to make sure that our country's defense import bills come down and indigenous development of defense products are promoted. Among the other benefits that you get out of it is the defense technologies can also be commercialized, and commercial production and commercial technology is also available for civilian use. The main benefits that you get out of a cluster, a defense cluster or a defense corridor, is that they provide everything that an incubator provides, even starting from pre-incubation, things like mentorship, things like what products to choose, what kind of break-even you have, whether the project will be viable, how to go about it, development help, the funding required to help in the development of products, up to the point of developing the business into a commercial business model and making it successful. So this is a 5-year plan to create 50 such entrepreneurs and 50 different product lines. And it works by working together with the PDSUs, which are basically DPSUs, which are basically defense public sector undertakings. So all these entrepreneurs get the opportunity to work with large defense undertakings like Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and many more. And I think this will go a long way to help us grow in Coimbatore.
Thanks, Arjun. I mean, this is actually one of the things which we want to bring into the attention of the entrepreneurs world over. This initiative, this is one of the 2 defense corridors in India announced by the government of India. There's a lot of support. It has been actually the Defense Procurement Agency have been mandated to, through the MSC clusters in these corridors, to make use of them to produce things. And it is quite interdisciplinary. It covers from food technologies to textiles, housing, engineering, weapon systems, software system. It covers a whole lot of areas for us to pursue and pursue this line of business. Thank you, Arjun, once again. Let me go around for one more question. I think we are running out of, our session has been curtailed by 12 minutes when we started. So we were running out of time. So I will go with one round of questions, and the questions from audience have started coming in. Most of it we will be taking online, since we are very keen that all of you to interact with you and help you to settle, come to Coimbatore. We will certainly respond to those questions offline. Please post those questions. We will get back to you. My final questions to the panel, starting from Dr. Muruganathan. Basically, a 2025 vision for Coimbatore. based on your journey so far and the post-COVID thing, what are the things we would like to achieve for Coimbatore, let's say, next 5 years? What would be the things which you think prioritize, which we have to address in general?
So as you said, so we need a world-class incubation center where a person can walk in, either a girl or a boy with an idea. So suppose even a young youth is coming to us, is intended to create a wheel-less car, something. While the whole world is talking about EV, that boy is talking about a wheel-less car. Definitely the outside world no support. The world treated as a mad or a maverick. So such a person, that incubation center can take it up. We can go work with the boy if it is feasible. So like that, we need an incubation center where we have to identify the idea, whether it is, it is practical or it is already, in many cases, now it's a world become a village, a small village. So even a single idea is ignited for 100 people in a single day. So as an example, a group of students, they came to my workshop and they're talking about, like how the steering wheel, suddenly the emergency balloon will come from the steering. Nah? So like that, they want to set up that whole car with the balloon, an emergency balloon, something. Then I already saw that in German, but I never discussed them. I said, have you checked already the pre-art search? Is there any part of the world? But they said they took 3-4 visits. Sir, idea, there is an idea, but we are afraid to tell, somebody will copy like that. They feel it is a unique, but the idea is already there. So like that, if a person having an idea, let them walk into the incubator center. They don't need of wasting the time. This is high priority. In another 5 years, we have to set up an incubation center with all facilities where he can make his first prototype like that. Then a single window point to access all sort of licensing, the financing. These are all, there are clients there already, but scatterly across the state, not even in Coimbatore. Note my point. Suppose an entrepreneur coming in a different level. So say about there is a revenue level, there is a manufacturing number of units, is still there, like 1960 rules and regulation. Where should you abolish? We need a single entry for a new entrant to do entrepreneurship. So this is we have to make ease. And especially the government, both federal and state, have to think about the local transportation and about, very importantly, the port and connecting to the world, especially the airport and the port to send the finished goods. These are the very key points. So not even the power, even power can be generated locally by our own, but these are all we cannot do a port. So we don't claim we have a dry port. But luckily we have nearest port Cochin or Thoothukudi. Suppose instead of going to Cochin, we can upgrade the Thoothukudi. I don't know, the mother vessel is standing inside the deep sea of the ocean, then we have to go to the bed, something is happening. So these are all we have to address. If you want to make this Coimbatore as a mark point in the global level.
Infrastructure.
We can talk, the scaling up as Dr. Told about that. No? Something, any part of India, I have to spend 3 days. So not in the pandemic time, even non-pandemic time, pre-COVID time also, only accessible is we have to go Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mumbai. Other than city, we need to spend 3 days. So these are all we have to think, we have to make a body, we have to represent the government.
Yeah, at the same point also, Arjun brought it out by connecting the greater Coimbatore area and provide infrastructure to enable all the stakeholders from across this thing to enable and grow. My concluding question to Dr. Raj Sabapathy, 2 questions. So one is the same thing, 2025 vision for Coimbatore, what do you think? And also, will the Coimbatore be a favored medical tour? We have been talking about this medical tourism, some prospects in Coimbatore with all the leading corporate and charitable hospitals. What are your thoughts on that?
I'll start off on the second question, medical tourism. So we have been thinking about it, and medical tourism can come in if only there are direct access to the city. Then what is really bothering is if somebody has to get on the flight in Chennai in the middle of the night, wait for 6 hours and then take, then for common things they don't come. They're only for highly specialized things they come. But then that's a problem. But then we are not let that problem defeat us. What we are trying to do is that Coimbatore must become the destination for the country. If we could get all people from Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, and then we find that we offer quality care, that means when the city will spring up. When the hospital industry grows, the first industry that grows is hospitality industry. There's no patient comes alone. They come up with 3 people. So I think that's the vision that we have, that Coimbatore must become the destination hotspot for healthcare for the nation. Yeah, that's my vision for 2025. They're easily attainable.
Thank you, Doctor. That actually, we are running short of time now. There are, as I said, that please the audience question. There are a lot of questions for Dr. Muruganandam regarding your own products and services, the cost of it, and comparative. So we will certainly get back to you with an answer, give answer to all of these questions. And I thank the panelists for providing that insights into the Coimbatore, the strengths of the Coimbatore, and our vision for Coimbatore. And with this, let me thank all the participants also. My final comment will be, welcome to Coimbatore. We are here. That will success. I mean, this is only a tip of the iceberg. What you see, the panelists here, like hundreds of successful entrepreneurs in different field or in the Coimbatore. We are all open to welcome you and make you a successful journey. Thank you. And I'll ask now Mr. Mr. Shanmugam for concluding remarks. All right. So that's again just coming back to this thing. So we are open for business, and we will be. We are very eager to have you start interacting with us, and we would be happy to provide you all the support, not only as entrepreneurs and other associations, the leading associations like Odisha Chamber of Commerce. We're all work. One of the key things is that all the associations and the ecosystem stakeholders are work very collaboratively. We always support each other. And it is the other key thing you have to notice that the Coimbatore's entrepreneur journey has always been sponsored by private entrepreneurs. There is no large government anchoring industry or entity here, except the only largest operations in Coimbatore from the government side will be the tax collection entities. But all other things are done by Coimbatorians for Coimbatore, and we are happy to have you on board. Thank you. And now I invite Mr. Shanmugam to provide his concluding
Thank you,
remarks.
Dr. Silva. Thank you, Dr. Silva, and all the 12 members. On behalf of TiE Coimbatore, I want to thank to the TiE Global Summit organizers, TiE Hyderabad, allotted a session to present our TiE Coimbatore chapter, Coimbatore Tenacity. Global investors in the Coimbatore city, located in Kongu region, Tamil Nadu, India, very popular for innovation in business like tech garment, motors and pumps, automobile spares, and defense and R&D products, IT, ITS, medical, agri, and many more. Thanks to all of the audience, chapter members, associate members, and all other associates. My special thanks to our President, TiE Coimbatore Chapter Ranjana, and special thanks to our panel members, Dr. Selva Kumar, Padman, Mr. Muruganandam, Dr. S.R.S. Rajasabha, Mrs. Mohan Sundari Madam, Mr. Agas, and also thanks to our chapter ED Swati, and special thanks to Mr. Pradeep, TiE Coimbatore. He handled the support movement. Once again, thanks to all the audience. Thank you.